I officially, legally started at 15, of course, younger than that in my family, but I started at 15 as a host and became a server by 16. And sexual harassment was just a normal part of the day. Um, as a teenager, having, being grabbed, being called baby, being slapped on the butt by managers, coworkers, and customers too. And one day, I remember when I was 16, I was working at Applebee's, and I watched my middle-aged manager uh, run up behind and sexually assault another 16-year-old server who was in the middle of making a salad for her guests. And she didn't consent for that, and she was shocked and horrified. And I was shocked and horrified, and I went and told another manager who I thought would surely do something about it, And they told me, that's just how that manager is. That's just how it is. And so fast forward 10 years of working in that industry through high school, college, and post-college, and just seeing things like that happen on a regular basis. I was just numb to it. And the day came when I was sexually assaulted on the job. And the thing that is crazy about it is that while I was being assaulted, I was in the middle of service. I was trying to make tea for a guest, and I didn't care about what was happening to my body or my dignity. All I could think about was getting that tea out to my customer on time with impeccable service and with a smile so that I could get that tip, because I was constantly worried about scraping up enough money to pay rent and utilities and my phone bill. And honestly, alcohol money to cope with the trauma, right? Of just working as a sub-minimum wage worker, thinking that that's just how the world was. And we've been talking about sexual harassment, but we've also been talking about the economic insecurity of it. So while that all is happening to me, it wasn't long before I was homeless myself, because I just could not make enough consistently in order to pay rent. So it wasn't long before, living in Washington, DC, after graduating from college with a ton of debt, working in the industry with an English degree, that I found myself homeless. And with no access to health care, no access to a single paid day off, a paid sick day or a vacation day, and just living day by day. And I became an organizer because there was really nothing else to do in that situation. It was like, I got to do something. So I'm going to start volunteering. I'm going to start organizing in order to make these conditions better. And thank God that I met and came across people like Saru Jayaraman, who have been organizing for restaurant workers for a decade before I even came on the scene. And that organizing gave me an outlet to build power, to talk to other tipped restaurant workers specifically about the stories that they were facing. And when I heard their stories over and over and over again, it's when I really realized that we were powerful, that there was more of us than there were of them, basically. The National Restaurant Association, who I found out was lobbying for decades and decades to keep the wages low. And so I'm really proud, even in the most horrible, horrific times in 2020, tip service workers, essential service workers facing these conditions, with even less tips coming in because of the pandemic. Despite that, they are organizing. They have come out in the street, have stood up for their rights, have done amazing creative things to uplift their stories. They are advocating. And so, for those of you watching, I'm asking you to join them in their fight and to do the same.